With more employers offering flexible workplace environments, added scrutiny is being placed on the hours actually spent on the clock. In fact, Fellows Brand's Productivity in the Workplace survey found that almost half of office workers say there is increased pressure to become more productive at work. So Laura Stack, aka the Productivity Pro, is here today to provide tips to increase productivity at the office so you can get the job done and boost efficiency. Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Tina. Appreciate being here.
Well, I gave a little bit of a hint as to why there's this increase, but kind of dive into that a little bit more.
Well, with those flexible working arrangements that you mentioned, there seems to be this blurring of the boundaries between work and home and when people and where can work. So there is that little bit of extra checking on work hours, and it creates this kind of pressure. But that Fellows Productivity in the Workplace survey that you mentioned showed that the pressure is translating into extra working hours, on average 44 hours of work a week instead of 40. But just because we're working harder doesn't necessarily mean we are more productive in that time. In fact, the worker said only 29 out of those hours were productive, and that 15 were a waste of time.
Well, and I know the survey also kind of looked at generational differences. What was kind of uncovered there?
Yes, some interesting data there. The survey interviewed millennials and Gen Xers and baby boomers in the survey, and that all three of those generations actually reported that they perceived Gen X to be the most productive, but the baby boomers were the ones who said that they felt like they were highly productive each and every day. And 3 out of 4 workers in the survey said that as they got older, they felt more productive, especially the millennials. So there was some really interesting data that came out on the generations and their productivity.
So what are some tips maybe to help us get more on that productive track?
Well, I think we have to look at some of the things that are wasting our time, some of those productivity killers, like problems with office technology. Up to 60% of people said that if that were improved, that would boost their productivity. Cutting down on unnecessary meetings, maybe even finding some quiet places at work where they can work. It's really critical to speak up when you see something that would help you be more efficient. If you feel that a piece of office equipment, a printer, a shredder, would help you, ask for it. For example, I love Fellows Automax line of shredder that helps you put up to 500 sheets of paper in at one time and be done. These types of things help you get to work more quickly and help you be more productive. Cut back on some of those meetings. I think a lot of them being unnecessary, as cited in the survey, can certainly be shortened. Many employees are saying, hey, let's have 45-minute meetings instead of 60-minute meetings and see if we can get the same amount of work done. So really focus on the things that are draining productivity and work on putting some of those boosters in place.
Well, you know, just personally, today I actually received my tax refund already in my bank account, which made me feel very productive and made me feel like I did something productive. But some people maybe struggle with getting things ready for tax season and doing that portion of the year. If someone's struggling with that, can we maybe give them a productive tip there?
Well, you are just a role model. You're doing exactly what you should and what most people don't do, and instead they procrastinate. So it's early in the year. We have all the W-2s we need. Start gathering your paperwork now. Get your receipts, find your charitable contributions, start putting your file together, and shred anything that's older than 7 years, because I do mean shred. A lot of people are putting things in the trash that are highly sensitive, which can lead to identity theft. So they need to do what you're doing, which is start early and don't procrastinate, or they will be surprised by the time April rolls around.
It'll be here before we know it. Now, Laura, if we need some more tips or information, or we want to take a look at that survey, where can we go online?
They can go to the Solutions Center at fellows.com, or I'm online at theproductivitypro.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Tina.
Don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend, we're going to be right back.